Hey, this is Helen Paradise from SoCal, and you are listening to the Barbecue Central Show.
So to get that perfect barbecue, you use wood. Are you sure it's safe? Whatever. We put the lighter fluid on, strike the match, and... Oh, should we call the fire department? That might be a good idea.
Welcome to the Barbecue Central Show, the show where we talk about all things that are important in the world of barbecue. From big-name interviews with competitors on the barbecue circuit, grill manufacturers and pit makers, to advice on cooking brisket and ribs. You'll find it all right here on the Barbecue Central Show. Your host, Greg Rempe, is a backyard barbecue and grilling fanatic and loves to talk about his passion, which many of us share together. You can learn more about barbecue and grilling by visiting the website, thebbqcentral.com. Now, let's get in the smoke. Here's your program host, Greg Rempe.
Hey, gang, welcome to another edition of the Barbecue Central Show. Oops. Yeah, it's the show that talks about all things important to the world of barbecue and grilling. I'm your program host, Greg Rempe, coming at you live and direct from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame city of the North Coast, Cleveland, Ohio, rapidly becoming known in cellular communication circles as the barbecue capital of the North Coast. Happy to have you, and we are back, ladies and gentlemen, on a Tuesday. Back in rare, fine fashion. This is the time slot that we have had for pretty much the whole run of the show until the last roughly 15 weeks or so, when I was academically challenged, and there was no way I could work around the show. So we are back again here on Tuesdays from here on out. Happy New Year, everybody. Hope your holiday season was great, and that the new year found you well, and most importantly, found you safe, and with the ones, your families, the one that you love, all that great stuff. So humbled that you're here to join me on Tuesday, and just want to know what's good. Centralites, how's your life? Well, we got a great show planned for you, but as always, let me give you some contact information in case you want to jump in on the show tonight. You can do so one of two ways, toll-free, via the telephone, 877-448-0433. You can also email the show if you want to. Greg at thebbqcentralshow.com is the two ways to get in touch with the show. And we are jam-packed, as I had stated just a few moments ago. Maybe you're wondering what's happening tonight. More than happy to share that with you. Coming up in about 13 minutes from now, we're having a little Barbecue Central Radio Network get-together. Well, at least two-thirds of the Barbecue Central Show Radio Network get-together. Or perhaps it's three-fourths if I'm including myself. I should. This is the flagship station of the Barbecue Central Radio Networks. It's the running on all sorts of mouth trouble. This show is the flagship show of the Barbecue Central Radio Networks, but we have three other podcasts that we stream when we are off live show every Tuesday. We have Brian and Marilyn Mayer of Hot Sauce Weekly, also Hot Sauce Daily blog. We also have JM from the Celebrity Grill Show, and the person that will not be participating in our little BCRN roundtable for the next segment is Bruce McCall Jr., better known as Huck, and he is the host of Huck's Hut, him and his father. So we're just going to kind of shoot it around a little bit, see what's happening with everybody else's shows, bring us up to speed on, how BCRN has been treating them. Maybe it's not been treating them at all. Maybe it's been absolutely fabulous. Maybe it's been a downfall of seismic gargantuan proportion to their particular brands. We'll air it all out next segment for you to hear, and we'll be able to get some updates as to what those shows are looking forward to here, not only in the next months, but year to come. Let's have a forecast. So, people, Brian, JM, put together your forecast for the next quarter and beyond, and I'll let you know if you still have a spot here on the Barbecue Central Radio Network. So that's going to be fun. Looking forward to that. 35 past the hour. We're going to revisit the KCBS Board of Directors nominees. Big Jim Stancil of Bare Knuckles Barbecue, a KCBS Board of Director hopeful, will be on the show to talk about his platform, what he thinks he could bring to the BOD, that it is lacking, what he likes, what he doesn't like, what he'd like to change, the whole platform thing. We're going to be talking to Big Jim about that 35 past the hour. And by the way, if you are a voting member of the KCBS, you should know that ballots went out on the 3rd, I believe, So you should have those ballots. You'll be getting them shortly. Make sure you vote. Like in any election, it doesn't have to be just government here that is relating to us as USA citizens, U.S. Americans, as I affectionately refer to us as. If you're part of an organization like a KCBS, like a Florida Barbecue Association, like a Memphis Barbecue Network, and so on and so forth, and there are votes, it is wise that if you're a member and you don't like the way things are headed, or you like to see things changed, or you like things to continue as they are in certain respects, you got to vote for the people that have your vision and want to carry along the whole idea of what a good barbecue institution is about. So if you are a voting member of KCBS, vote early, vote often. Well, just vote once because that's really all you can vote. So there you go. Big Jim will be on 35 past the hour. Of course, 4-segment free-for-all for your chance to win fun and succulent prizes to include Frog Mats, El Capitan Santa Maria-style barbecue seasoning, wood smoke products from Greenleaf Barbecue, a Cosmos Q injection pack, your choice, either a soak or a rub. Not a rub, an injection, because that's what he does, Cosmos Q injection. Also, a new rub, Wild Game Rub, from the good folks over at Easy Hooks. That'll round out the first hour, and then coming up after dark, one of the all-time favorites of this show, and a legendary guest of seismic and gargantuan proportions. Yeah, it's Ray Lampe, Dr. Barbecue. You're damn right. So we're going to be talking about barbecue with the good doctor. Lots of people reacting on his Facebook page saying that he was going to be on the show tonight and what would you like to hear about. So always like to kind of get it on with Ray and just kind of see what topics arise. Very easy guy to talk to. Has a lot of knowledge, obviously, in this particular area, that being barbecue, but also very, very at ease in front of the grill, catering, putting together flavor profiles, obviously putting together recipes. He is a multiple-time author, so always looking forward to the conversation with Dr. Barbecue Ray Lampe. That'll happen in the 10 o'clock hour, affectionately known as the After Dark segment. And I will definitely pull up the Facebook page of Ray, and we'll go down the line and answer some of the questions that you, the listening public, whether it be live here tonight or in podcast fashion later on at your convenience, wanted to hear about. We've done some promotion here, so hopefully we can get you the answers that you were looking for, or get you the comments, get you the takes on the particular subject matter that you're looking for in this world, in this subculture of barbecue and grilling. There you go. All right, 877-448-0433 or Greg at thebbqcentralshow.com. Those are the ways to get in touch with the show, and that is what is on tap for tonight. Quick look back at last week. We had Randy Owen, the president of ThermoWorks. As far as I'm concerned, whether you were absolutely loving his interview last night or last week, whether you didn't think he came off well, regardless of how you thought the interview went, and I thought it actually went very well, his particular product, that being the ThermaPen, and they do have a host of other products, it's really one of those must-haves. You got to have it in your barbecue arsenal. You have to get over the fact that it's going to cost $90, and you have to look forward to the fact that you're going to have instant readings that are very accurate, and you're going to have a piece of equipment that is robust and going to give you those instant readings in 2 to 3 seconds and not 20 seconds. I mean, 20 seconds isn't really instant. So just go ahead and march right on over to ThermoWorks and pick yourself up one. I highly recommend it. Also, thanks to Grill Girl Robin Medlin for sharing that candied bacon cupcake recipe as well that was going over. And of course, Chris Marks, Ace of Hearts, loved his take on competition barbecue and those flavor profiles and how sameness seems to be running rampant in competition barbecue. So something we'll probably bring up with Ray Lampe as well as we talk to him in the 10 o'clock hour. Again, quick reminder about Darren Hearn and D-Dog's Barbecue Rub. That's right, offering free shipping on all orders at ddogsbbq.com. They also have 2 new products, a Texas-style barbecue sauce and a jalapeno rib glaze. Excuse me, did I mention there's free shipping? Because you know I just did. That means if you order 875,000 tons of Texas-style barbecue sauce and jalapeno rib glaze, not to mention some of their other rubs and sauces, Darren pays for all the shipping, and it doesn't get better than that. No, by the way, D-Dog's Barbecue Rub is better than ketchup. It's ddogsbbq.com. Hook up now. We'll come back. A little BCRN Roundtable. JM and Brian Mayer next. Stand by.
You're listening to the Barbecue Central Radio Show.
Barbecue fans travel from all over the country and the world to learn the secrets of real pit barbecue from Grand Champion Pitmaster Conrad Haskins. Now take your skills to the next level with a Barbecue Institute Pitmaster class. You'll learn how to make sauces, rubs, and smoke mouth-watering barbecue every time you cook. Your new skills will impress friends and family. Internet forums, blogs, and Facebook are full of success stories from our graduates. Upcoming classes locations include Rock City Rib Fest, Rochester, New York, Lexington, Massachusetts, Lang Factory Test Kitchen in Georgia, Fort Worth, Texas, Fredericksburg, Texas, Houston, Texas, Monroe, Washington, and Kennewick, Washington. For more information, class dates, and contests we'll be competing in, visit www.bbqclass.com. That's bbqclass.com.
Broadcasting live from the Barbecue Central Radio Network studios in Cleveland, Ohio. You're listening to the Barbecue Central Radio Show. Once again, here's your host, Greg Rempe.
Welcome back. 14 past the hour. This portion of the show brought to you by Yoder's Smoky Mountain Barbecue, the leading online retailer of Meadow Creek barbecue equipment. Their barbecue smokers and grills, handcrafted in the Amish country of Lancaster, Pennsylvania, helping you enjoy easy and profitable barbecues for years to come. You got to check them out on the interwebs. The BBQ. Yeah, okay. How about Serious BBQs? That's BBQS because it's plural. SeriousBBQs.com. Good folks over at Yoder Smoky Mountain Barbecue, also carrying a full line of rubs and sauces as well. All right, let's go ahead and head over to the hotline and bring up the first ever, I guess, Barbecue Central Radio Network roundtable, minus, of course, one guest, but that's all right. It's Brian Mayer, JM from the Celebrity Grill, and Brian Mayer from Hot Sauce Weekly. Gentlemen, thanks for taking the time out to join me this evening. Obviously, we're minus one host, that being Bruce McCall, but let's face it, he's the weak link of the entire BCRN network, and Brian, we'll start with you tonight. You are the host of Hot Sauce Weekly, so for the folks that perhaps aren't as intimately familiar with you and the show as both JM and myself are, give us a little background about how you got in this whole hot sauce thing and how you think it kind of rolls nicely in with this barbecue and grilling community.
Sure. Hey, Greg, can you hear me okay?
I can hear you. Go ahead.
All right. Well, we launched the podcast a little over a year ago, October 2009. We wanted to focus on hot sauce, the fiery foods industry, but my nature, it just kind of goes with grilling and barbecuing, and I'm always outside smoking something in the good weather. And so I ended up tying in some barbecue with that. And we go to local barbecue events and interview people and have some guests on the program talking about their products. And it's just one big ball of wax of greatness. Now,
I couldn't possibly agree more, Brian. Now, you started the blog, and then what pushes you over the... Obviously, I'm going to ask JM here in a second, but especially for me, too, what kind of culminated within your person to get you from blog to actually doing something on the audio side?
That's a good question. I'm a musician from way back, bass player for 20, 30, 40 years. I can't do the math. And wanted to do something creative in that way. I find it creative to write. I love to write about the hot sauce products we review, the barbecue sauce products, but and I'm listening to podcasts every day, constantly. And I think one of the first ones I listened to was a guy named Rempe, Greg Rempe.
Never heard of him.
Okay. So, I listened to him all day, and I thought, maybe someone would like to hear us talk about fiery foods, barbecue, grilling, hot sauce. And so I started Hot Sauce Weekly, and it's still a hobby for us. We're not making any money with the show. We just like to do it. We love to do it, and we love talking with the folks. And we are just a hair below 10,000 downloads, and so that's pretty exciting. And we got a lot of good things coming up this year.
Brian Mayer, host of Hot Sauce Weekly, joining us. We'll switch gears over to my main man, JM, down there in Tampa, Florida, for the Celebrity Grill Show. JM, welcome into the show. Again, kind of the same thing as I asked Brian, a little bit of background about you and why you decided to start a podcast about the outdoor backyard grilling aspects.
Yeah, no problem, man. I'm fascinated by barbecue and barbecue teams and what you talk about on your show. You know, when you guys talk about low and slow and smoking meat and the big four and all that, I'm fascinated by it, but I'm no good at it. But I am good at grilling, and so I wanted to learn more about that. I know it's so easily accessible in the backyard. I mean, you go to just about anybody's house. I got a grill back there, and it seems something I can latch onto, man. Something that's just an average guy can do and get good at and have fun with. And the podcast came about because, as good as your show was, the nature of podcasts is people subscribe to exactly what they are looking for. It's not like radio where you're driving down the street and whatever's on is on. I mean, I was looking for barbecue when I found your show. I was looking for hot sauce when I found Brian Mayer's show. I couldn't find one that was how to grill better. I mean, wall to wall, 45 minutes, just teach me how to grill. So I created it.
How's it going for you so far?
Man, I love it. I love it. I mean, are you serious? Come on. Seriously, Greg.
So I think, Jay, I think one of the things that I find most interesting about the way your show has evolved is the fact that, you know, when you started out, it was just a lot of JM talking about whatever you were talking. But, I mean, there wasn't a lot of interviews. There wasn't a lot of group roundtables or anything like that. But over time, the show has kind of evolved into a nice amalgamation and mix of JM and then interviewing people, whether they be from the backyard or more attuned to the grilling side of things or just backyard chefs, something that I've really enjoyed about your show. I mean, how do you feel about, as the show has progressed, steps that you've taken to make it better?
Well, you know, it's kind of what social networking has done. Facebook and Twitter. When I use Facebook and Twitter, I try to take Ashton Kutcher's advice in that I don't use it as much to project information out to people, but to take information in. And when I see you doing interviews and things like that, and you see terrestrial radio and mass market, that's the way it is on TV and stuff, bringing in faces, people, places, and they don't have to be big-time, big names. I mean, if you know how to grill better than me, come on the show. Show me how to do it. And if you think I'm saying something wrong, come on the show and tell me how to do it. That's perfectly fine. Greg, you know, I actually want to get back to the Q&A. Believe it or not, when I put the questions out on Facebook, I don't really get many responses. And I don't know why that is, but, you know, I'm thinking of going at it a different angle, putting the questions back in there because I'm hearing advice from so many people. I'd like to give a little bit at least. And, but there's a lot of new things coming down the pike, man. But love your show, man.
JM and Brian Mayer joining me here on the Barbecue Central radio show. JM, host of the Celebrity Grill Show, and Brian Mayer, host of Hot Sauce Weekly. So, Brian, as you have kind of evolved your show, it was you and Randy, I believe, and then Randy was fired ceremoniously or unceremoniously, and then you've brought in a much better host, someone near and dear to your heart, your wife, Marilyn. How does that, I'm fascinated by that. I mean, how does that relationship work? Obviously, there has to be a mutual respect and love for the hot sauce, but how is it to work with your wife in that kind of a setting?
It's awful. We fight all the time.
It's the worst thing ever.
She's awesome. Happy wife, happy life. I heard you mention that.
Great advice.
She just shares my love of food. We're both foodies, and I think she has a nice voice. She's got a better voice than me. She's better looking than me, and it was kind of a no-brainer one night. I thought, let me bring her on and see how that goes, and I've been real happy with that. Affectionately,
and I'm sure JM would agree here, that I refer to Hot Sauce Weekly as like the NPR show of Barbecue Central Radio Networks. What do you say, JM? You agree with that? It's got that,
oh, man.
It's got that feel good. I mean, they both have these great voices. I just expect them to be on NPR.
Yeah, the tone. I mean, when I think hot sauce, I'm thinking fire, flames, buffalo wings, and, explosions and stuff like that. And then on comes the jazz music, and it is something different, I'll tell you that. But you know what, Brian, you dig the jazz, and you explain that, and that's pretty cool. Oh, yeah. If that's what you want, man, do it.
Thank you, JM. Yeah, I was kidding about listening to you, Greg, at first, but I really got started with NPR and their podcasts. And I guess that just, ingrained itself in me, and I just kind of dig going in that direction and like doing it that way.
Yeah, it's a great, enjoys it. Oh, yeah, it's a great sound, and it's certainly a great format, and I love the way you guys kind of interact and play off each other. As you kind of bring out the who's who of hot sauce, because there really isn't any other show out there doing what you're doing, much like all the other shows on Barbecue Central Radio Network, except for Huck, because he's definitely a knockoff of my show. But as you're bringing these people out, I mean, are they surprised that somebody's out there doing a podcast? And what's the reaction that you're getting from the hot sauce community on your show?
It is a surprise. They, first of all, like the general public, what is a podcast? And you still have to explain that to a lot of people.
Right.
And I don't think the movers and shakers in the industry quite have grasped that concept, and that avenue and that venue for promoting their products is out there and is available to them.
Jim,
and they get excited and they get enthusiastic, and we have a good time.
Jim, getting guests for your show, I would imagine it's fairly similar to what I'm doing. People are surprised that you're reaching out to them, or is it just more excitement on, let me get in there, let me show you what I know, happy to help out?
Hey, they're excited, to talk about grilling. I mean, go to your next cookout and ask somebody for advice. They'll talk to you till the sun goes down. Most of the people who come on the show, I'd say 85% of them, the relationship starts on Twitter. Either they find me, I find them, I DM them. Every single person on my Twitter account, I've seen their bio or their website. Every single one. There's no automation there because I want to know if that person would want to come on the show. The other 15% came from a social network called LinkedIn, who connect with me that way. We just develop a relationship, take it to email. I ask them outright, say, hey, look, check out the site. You like what you see? Come on. And I like to ask people what their specialty are, or our specialty is, because, if you're not very good at shrimp, I'm not going to have you talk about that. But if I got 3 people in mind who know how to talk about game, like elk and moose and other weird stuff. I know nothing about that, and I want to hook all 3 of them up and have a grilled game show, man. I mean, that sounds good to me.
No pun intended, right? Grilled game show. JM and Brian May are joining us here on the Barbecue Central radio show. So, JM, we'll stick with you here for the last few minutes of the segment. What's coming up with the show? What would you like to see the show kind of evolve into here over the next 6-12 months? As, just kind of like a forecast for the show.
Greg, that's a loaded question, man. There is so much that I have, so much that has happened and so much more that I want to do. First thing is that we had a few months ago, my Facebook fan page was compromised, actually that whole account. So I had to start a new Facebook fan page. And so if you're listening to this live, you're probably sitting at a computer, go to Facebook, search for Celebrity Grill. You'll see 2 options come up, Celebrity Grill and Celebrity Grill Podcast. The podcast one is the old page. Celebrity Grill is a new one. Go ahead and fan that. And I'm sorry for anybody if that inconveniences you, but that's a big deal. I connect with people on the fan page big time. The video series. Oh, Greg, the video series. Research for that is so difficult. But it's gotten to the point where through sponsorship, I've been able to take it from 480p to 1080p HD widescreen. You go to YouTube, you select that option. It'll play 1080p on your full screen on your computer. And that's pretty sick.
Nice.
It's a lot of fun. I originally wanted one entire show to be in 7 minutes, but it turns out each show is in like 4 or 5 parts. It's all learning about grilling. And I know 7-8 minutes may seem like a long time for a video on YouTube, but sit down and watch one. And if it feels like 8 minutes, then don't watch anymore. But I can almost guarantee it's not going to feel that way just because I think it turned out really well. But the video series is taking off. You're asking where it's going. Major website updates. That's really the last thing is major website updates are coming. I'm putting control of my website in my hands. I will be the webmaster. So that transition is taking place over the holidays. I'll be starting a blog, a recipe page, and really cool is a deals and offers page. I know, Greg, there's a lot of brands and companies that tune into your show. I'll be hooking up with different brands that want to basically have a partnership with the audience of the Celebrity Grill show and basically offer the fans maybe a discount to drive traffic to their site, that type of thing. And because sometimes it can be hard to find good grilling equipment out there. I mean, you probably search for stuff. And
once or twice.
It really puts it all together on one page for brands that want to get noticed and want a piece of the action.
That's JM from the Celebrity Grill Show. Brian, we turn it back over to you as you look down the pike here over the next 6 months to a year. The show as it sits now, where would you like to see it grow, and what do you have in store for this broadcast year?
Well, where I'd like to see it grow is for listeners to tell their friends to tune in. But we do have some plans for our upcoming shows. We've got We've got a roundtable with some hot sauce and barbecue sauce manufacturers in the works. We're doing a bloggers roundtable featuring some of the hottest bloggers out there, people that write and review sauces, barbecue and hot sauce and otherwise. And we'll be doing some live reports, speaking of barbecue, from Maryland's Maryland, the state, not my wife. Maryland's Pork in the Park event in Salisbury in April. We're going to do a second annual Peppers at the Beach at our friend Chip Hearn's peppers.com store. And we're going to get back up to Bowers, PA for that hot sauce festival. So we're just kind of keep chugging along and hope people dig it.
One final question, one-word answers. Guys, if I gave you a time that would be convenient for you, and I'm only asking this because I know you could possibly do it if you put your mind to it. Brian, I'll ask you first since we just got done answering. If I gave you an hour time slot at any day during the week except Tuesday from 9 to 11, could you possibly do one live show just to see what it was like?
You mean on my own, on my end?
Yeah, and I'd run it for you. Could you do it?
Yes.
All right, we're going to do that. I'm going to hold you to that. JM, we're going to come back to you, and I know that you could possibly do this too, but if we could work it out, is there any way that you would do a live show one time?
Out of yes or no, right?
Out of yes or no. And you're quickly running out of time.
Yes.
All right. Marching down JM as a yes as well. All right, so I'll be in contact with that. Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to JM, host of the Celebrity Grill Show, and of course, Brian Mayer from Hot Sauce Weekly. Brian, give out your websites for people to find you and see what it's all about.
HotSauceWeekly.com's got everything on there, and we'd love for you to follow us on Twitter. My wife, Marilyn, is at Hot Sauce Chick, and I'm typically on there as Hot Sauce Daily or Hot Sauce Weekly for the show.
JM, contact, yeah, no problem. JM, contact information.
It's all found at celebritygrillshow.com. And I gotta say in 10 seconds, man, that for all you listeners out there, Greg Rempe was there in the beginning for my show. He helped me along. He answered my questions. He didn't see my show as a competitor. He cooperated with my show, and it's with that we've both gone further. So if you're his listener, man, you got yourself a good host. He's a good guy. Thanks, Greg.
JM, ass kisser extraordinaire, and I appreciate it wholeheartedly. Guys, I certainly appreciate you making time for the show, and continued success. We'll talk soon, all right?
You got it.
All right, there they are. It's Brian Mayer. It's JM from the Celebrity Grill Show. Brian Mayer, host of Hot Sauce Weekly. That was fun. We got to do that like once a quarter or something. Make sure that those guys aren't going to back out on the live show. They're going to do a live show whether they like it or not. They have no idea what they just committed to on air, and now it's on tape. CelebrityGrillShow.com is JM Show. HotSauceWeekly.com is Brian and Marilyn Show. Huck's Hut. I don't even know what that website is, and who cares? Next time if he shows up, he'll get the promo. All right, we're going to step away real quick, and when we come back, we will flip gears and head over to the KCBS BOD nominee. Big Jim Stancil will join me. Stick around. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the Barbecue Central Radio Show.
The future of barbecue is already here at thebarbecueguru.com. From the amazing guru that monitors and controls the temperatures of any charcoal, wood, or electric pit to the Caldera Tallboy knockdown smoker. Yes, it breaks down and stores flat, yet it's still a robust, sturdy, portable cooker and smokehouse. It also serves as an efficient temperature-controlled convection oven using wood or charcoal. The Tallboy is designed to fit all catering pans and can be used as a warming oven. You can cook in any style you choose. Make ribs, chicken, jerky, vegetables, smoked cheese, whatever you want. Take it to KCBS competitions and unload it from the trunk of your car. TheBarbecueGuru.com is where you'll find the Caldera 3-Bay Caterer. It's stainless steel and uses charcoal or sterno for chafing purposes. And it doubles as a 3-bay sink or wash station with hot water and knocks down in seconds with no tools required for transportation and storage. The future of barbecue is here at thebarbecueguru.com. That's www.thebbqguru.com or call 1-800-288-GURU.
Get in the smoke. Call 877-448-0433 to get on the air. Now, here's your host, Greg Rempe.
36 past the hour. This portion of the show brought to you by the good folks over at the Barbecue Guru, makers of automatic pit temperature control devices, not to mention a host of other products that make your barbecue and grilling life easier. 2 ways to find them. On the interwebs, thebbqguru.com. You can also dial them up toll-free on your telephone, 800-288-GURU. That's 800-288-GURU. It's the great folks. By the way, reserve grand champs at this year's Jack Daniels World Championship Barbecue Cook-Off. The good folks over at the Barbecue Guru. All right, let's race back over to the hotline as we bring back up some Kansas City Barbecue Society Board of Directors nominee hopeful talks. It's Big Jim Stancil from Bare Knuckle Barbecue. Big Jim, what's up, buddy?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing awesome, Jim. Thanks for joining me tonight and making time for the show. And we're talking, obviously, about your run for the KCBS Board of Directors. We've had a few other nominee hopefuls on here in the past few weeks. But before we get into what the whole platform is and this and that, a little background about yourself and kind of how you fell into this whole competition barbecue scene.
Sure, I appreciate you having us on here. I've been a cook team since about 1998. Soon after that, got the bug, couldn't quit doing it, just loved it. Loved every bit about it, everything, the camaraderie and being out there with all the guys in the competition. Soon after became a judge, and then soon after that became a contest organizer. So I'm pretty much involved with barbecue all the time. Also work on a series called the Georgia Barbecue Championship, which involves all the contests in Georgia. Overall winner, receives a check and a prize at the end of the year. So we're pretty pumped up about that. But really trying to get a voice in the South, up north there in Kansas City, to to assist some of the teams and the judges down here to try to let us be heard, and help out, do what we can.
Jim Stancil joining us, Bare Knuckle Barbecue Pitmaster. And certainly you've seen quite a bit given all of your history and what you've done so far regarding competition barbecue, Jim. So as you look at KCBS, the board of directors, obviously last year seemed to be kind of a tumultuous time, seems to have kind of died off a little bit over this past year, but still new people want to get in and kind of get out that old blood that is perceived to be in there. Just as an outsider looking in, Jim, and not getting too in-depth yet, what's your perception of the BOD? And, I mean, is it a deserved knock, or is it not as bad as it might seem?
Well, you know what I think it is? I think all the people involved with barbecue in general are passionate people. They're passionate about issues, which can always create some tension. You're going to have different personalities, and you're never going to get everybody to agree on everything, but you should be able to sit down and come to some sort of meeting of the minds at some point. I think everybody in Kansas City looks at the lower southern states here as not really being involved, but we actually have quite a few contests here. Being in the last 5 years, we've grown from 4 sanctioned contests to this year will probably be 12 or 14 events just in Georgia. So you're looking at 40 or 50 events in, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, Tennessee, and Alabama. So we've grown quite a bit, and I think that there needs to be a voice there. As far as the old guard or the current board members or the past board members, I think there is a little bit of an enclosed area there where they don't like to have any outsiders coming in. But this is huge. KCBS as a whole has grown leaps and bounds in the last 4 or 5 years, and I think that there just needs to be some people that are forward-thinking and can sit down and agree, or at least, civilly agree and discuss these issues openly and try to move forward, as opposed to just constantly, back and forth here, there, and the just a constant bickering and tabling and behind closed doors and all that kind of stuff. It's just not productive, and we'd like to get some stuff that's productive. Get some people in there who are not afraid to get their hands dirty and go on and get some work done.
So you're in a unique region of the country, Jim. You're in Georgia, obviously closer to you than I guess KCBS would be the Florida Barbecue Association. I would imagine you're having some type of dealings with them given the amount of competition that you have your hands in. Why not embrace that particular sanctioning body more than making a run for KCBS Board of Directors?
Well, I think that KCBS has more events throughout the whole United States, actually. I mean, the Florida Barbecue Association has a couple of events here in Georgia, but most of their events are held south of here in Florida, and they are kind of like Kansas City was a few years back. I mean, they're just in their little realm, and a lot of teams travel south and go cook those events. I don't cook very many Florida barbecue events. It's just not what I do. I'm loyal to the KCBS events. I like to go to them. I kind of know what I'm getting into when I go there. I'm not really concerned with the integrity of the events. Not that I'm concerned with the integrity events of the Florida Barbecue Association, but I just prefer to cook the KCBS events. That's just on me. I don't know if that's just a personal preference, but that's what I like to do. But you know, it's going in a bigger direction than obviously with 12 to 14 contests in Georgia this year coming up. Next year we could probably have more than that. So there needs to be some voice and some activity here, having a voice for this general area in the Southeast.
Jim Stancil joining us here on the show, pitmaster of Bare Knuckle Barbecue. So, Jim, given your background, what do you think particularly, or maybe a few examples in your opinion, has prepared you for a position on the board?
Well, I'm pretty active in everything about barbecue. I do this. This is my full-time job. I have a catering business. I've also been, I've owned my own businesses. I've also been a part of many different committees on organizing barbecue contests and other festivals in itself. I just see myself as being able to sit down and listen to ideas and try to create, progress from those ideas. I don't think that there's anything specific other than, I'm just not afraid to listen and try to get things done. I'm a no-nonsense type of guy when it comes to that kind of stuff, and I'll shoot you straight. I'm not going to hold my punches when it comes to, telling you things I think. And I think at the end of the day, we will actually work for the members. That's, how that works. You're voted in by the members. You then have to answer to the members if you're not being faithful and loyal to them, not having your own agenda sitting at the board table or doing other things that don't, that are just not good business in general.
So do you have a specific platform that you're running on, things that you would like to see specifically changed, that if you were to get elected, items that you would like to implement, or items that you would like to unimplement as far as what's existing currently in the board of directors?
Yes. Well, there's a few specific things, but generally I'd like to get some of the gray areas cleaned up where they could be considered one way or the other, and you're taking it, and reps have to make judgment calls when they shouldn't really have to. Lines should be black and white. I know that there's really not such a thing most of the time, but there should be areas where judges and reps have a chance to stand. This is the way it is. This is the way it's going to have to be. In the short and long term, really, I'd like to see some retooling on how judges are certified. You do a one-day class and you send somebody in there to turn them loose, and they're basically a judge. Okay, they've paid their money, they've taken the class, and now they're a judge. But that doesn't really give them the qualifications to judge barbecue. I mean, there's got to be some implementations on how to get them to a point. You just don't turn somebody loose on a job with a pencil after a 4 or 5 hour class. It just doesn't work that way. I think that there's a way to work those new judges in with master judges and work them in on, with organizers where they work at the turn-in tables, where they work at the grazing tables, where they work at, everything having to do with the judging area to first get them oriented with what's going on in there. I mean, and also, instead of cooking with a team after you've got your 30 judges in, and to get your masters, I think you should cook with a team first. I think you should go out after you take the class and you worked a little bit with the organizers, go out and cook with a team. It'll give them a better appreciation and an understanding of what goes on at the contest. Obviously we can't do it without the judges, and the judges can't do it without us. So it's a 50-50 deal, but there has to be a lot of, I think there needs to be a lot more training or orienting of the newer judges, and trying to get these people more educated on what we do and how we do it. as far as judging barbecue.
Jim Stancil joining us here. He is the pitmaster for White Knuckles Barbecue and looking to make a run for the Kansas City Barbecue Society's board of directors. Jim, last question before I cut you loose. KCBS as a entity has grown probably well beyond what Gary and Carolyn Wells originally started this whole thing out as. So do you think there's going to be a time, or perhaps in your opinion, would you like to see KCBS go out as a not-for-profit and actually kind of get into a privately held business and move forward that way?
You know what? I think at the end of the day, I think they started it off as a not-for-profit because they just assumed that it would just be that. It would just be something that they did as an organization to try to have fun and to make good use of their time on the weekends and to give people a structured, consistent contest so that everybody felt all the fields were fair. As far as moving forward into a privately held deal where it's a for-profit company, I'm all for that. I mean, this is America. You want to go out and do what you got to do. The only way to get this to get the organization to grow and move forward is to move it into a different direction. Obviously, the not-for-profit is a great idea, and they can continue to donate and spend their time and effort into helping promote the sport of barbecue. But at the end of the day, everybody's got to make a living, and this is how you're going to have to do it if you're going to do it that way.
Jim Stancil joining us here on the show. He is running for the Kansas City Barbecue Society Board of Directors. So if you've liked what Jim has said, or perhaps you would like to get in touch with him, ask him a few more questions, Jim, is there a way that people can get a hold of you and get some more further insight on what the deal is?
Yeah, they can email me at bareknucklesbarbecue@yahoo.com. That's BareKnucklesBBQ@yahoo.com. Just
right.
Shoot me an email. I'll be happy to help you with any questions you have.
There he is. That is Jim Stancil, the pitmaster of Bare Knuckles Barbecue, and he's running for the Kansas City Barbecue Society's board of director. Jim, appreciate the insight tonight, and good luck in your quest for BOD. We'll look for you again soon.
Hey, thanks, Greg. I appreciate you having me on.
All right, take care. There he is. Big Jim Stancil running for the Kansas City Barbecue Society's board of director. You like what you hear? You want to cast your vote for him? Go ahead and do it, or you can go ahead and touch him up for a little bit more information if you'd like some further clarification. Lots of questions that I could have asked there, but this is live radio on the internet. So does that cancel? Oh, whatever. All right, we're going to step away. I'm going to figure out how to do the 4-segment free-for-all, and we will have Ray Lampe coming up in the 10 o'clock hour, so stick around for that. You are listening to the Barbecue Central Radio Show right here on the Barbecue Central Radio Networks.
Forget going from site to site to get all of your barbecue and grilling supplies and make your first and final stop at fredsmusicandbarbecue.com. In the market for a new barbecue pit, we have all the big name brands like Big Green Egg and more. As a matter of fact, Fred's is staffed by eggheads and carries all the parts and accessories for the Big Green Egg. More of a pellet head, you say? Fred's is the pellet grill superstore with grills in stock from Traeger, Green Mountain, and Country Smokers from Louisiana Grills. Fred's also carries smokers from Cook Shack, Bradley, and Weber, as well as a full line of charcoal grills. And once you're outfitted with your new smoker or grill, you'll find absolutely everything you need to make your barbecue or grilling experience a success. Fred is also the creator and distributor of Tasty Licks barbecue products, including their great line of rubs, spices, and sauces. You gotta try them. And you can also get your hands on a full lineup of marinades, accessories, lump charcoal, wood chips, pellets, chunks, and even the great grilling tools from Stephen Reichlin of Barbecue U fame. Check out Fred on the web at fredsmusicandbarbecue.com or check out their fully stocked showroom in beautiful Shillington, PA.
Introducing Cosmos Q. Cosmos Q injections and marinades use only the finest ingredients, and they mix easily, never clotting or caking. From our beef injection to our pork injection, you're guaranteed to wow your friends, family, and judges. And don't forget to check out our Cosmos Chicken Soak for that moist and tender chicken you're gonna love.
And don't forget about Cosmo's new pork soak and rubs.
You can find us at cosmosq.com and select retailers across the nation. For quality injections, marinades, and rubs, it's Cosmos Q.
Big name interviews, advice on cooking brisket and ribs, and the only host willing to share his honest opinion on all things important in the world of barbecue. It's the Barbecue Central Show.
Welcome back, 7 till the top of the hour. This is your Barbecue Central Radio Network dose for your Tuesday. Happy to have you aboard here on a Tuesday night. 877-448-0433 if you want to jump into the 4-segment free-for-all. Greg at the BBQCentralShow.com. Want to follow me on Twitter? You can do it at BBQ Central Show. At BBQ Central Show is the way to do it. You can also find me on Facebook. Just search the name Greg, R-E-M-P-E, Greg Rempe, and you'll be hooked up with the Barbecue Central radio show on Facebook. All right, let's do it. Everybody loves to play the 4th segment free-for-all. Hey, everybody, Harry Carey here. All right, so glad to be back here on a Tuesday. I have to tell you, Tuesday is a much better night for me. It gets me out of hell easier. Wednesdays were a bitch. I'm telling you, Satan always on my ass, telling me I can't do this, I can't. Harry, you can't go out on Wednesday nights. I need you to call the Devil's Game tonight. Do you see how I incorporated that in there? Devil's Game? Never mind. Okay, it's a 4-segment free-for-all, so you can win prizes. All you have to do is answer questions about sports or barbecue. Your choice by calling in toll-free at 877-448-0433. That's right, you can win frog mats, you can win Cosmos cues, you can win wine, oak wine stuff for your fire. I don't know why you would put wine on wood. I'll drink wine in my glass, please, times 5. That's right, times 5. I remember one night when I was calling the Cubs game, I was pulled over by the police, and I was given a field sobriety test. They said my blood alcohol content was Merlot. That's right. Okay. 877-448-0433 for your chance to win some really cool prizes here on the 4-segment free-for-all. And while we're waiting for people to follow the phone lines, I have this paper handed to me. Coming up next is going to be Dr. Barbecue Ray Lampy. All right, Dr. Barbecue. So I guess if your barbecue is on its deathbed, if your barbecue needs to be taken to the hospital because it's terrible, then this is probably a guy you're going to want to call into. Is he like Dr. Phil for barbecue? Is he going to make you feel good about your barbecue life? Is he going to tell you to get real about your barbecue? I don't know. I guess I'll have to tune in and watch and listen. So that's who you have to look forward to coming up next segment. Dr. Barbecue Ray Lampy. Or maybe it's Ray Lamp. How the hell would I know? I'm dead. Okay. Well, I have to tell you, this is going outrageously terrible. What, nobody wants free stuff? Your phones don't work? Fine. See, if I'm back here not taking calls and making fun of the listeners next week, I have much more important things to do, like drinking. That's one of my favorite things ever. Rod Gray, is there anything better than drinking?
Nothing.
I knew it. Okay, here we go. Let's go to the phone lines. We go to area code 816. Who's this?
Tyler.
Tyler, how are you? Tyler, you ready to play the 4-segment free-for-all?
I hope so.
Well, are you or not?
Sure.
All right. Tyler, would you like sports questions or would you like barbecue questions?
Barbecue.
All right, Tyler, first question. Can you give me the proper barbecue temperatures to be held in your barbecue pit?
Between 200 and 250.
Oh, that's right. 200 and 250 degrees is absolutely right, Tyler. Next question, Tyler. If you have a packer and a point, what kind of a cut of beef do you have?
I couldn't understand your question.
I said if you have a packer... Oh, God damn it, I've given you the answer.
Get that big stuff out of here.
All right, Tyler, just for that, you get question number 2 right. Okay, question number 3, Tyler, for your chance to win a prize. Tyler, you excited?
I know I am.
I know I am too, Tyler. That's right. Okay, Tyler, coming up in the After Dark segment, Greg Rempe will be interviewing a barbecue legend. Can you name him?
Dr. Barbecue himself, Ray Lampy.
That's right. Ray Lampy's right. Okay, Tyler, what prize would you like?
What do we got, Harry?
Well, Tyler, we have frog mats. We have El Capitan barbecue seasoning. We have wine-infused oakwood products from Greenleaf Barbecue. We also have some Cosmos Q's injections or soaks. We also have wild game rub for deers and other type of four-legged animals traipsing around in your woods. What would you like?
I think I'd like some Cosmos Q.
Now, would you like the injection for pork or beef, or would you like the soaks for pork or chicken?
I think I'd like the soaps.
For chicken or pork? Work with me, Tyler. We're on a time schedule.
Pork. Harry Pork.
Pork it is, Tyler. I don't know why that's funny to me. I'm a dirty old man. Okay, Tyler, all you need to do is send me your shipping info, Greg, at thebbqcentralshow.com, and we'll get you hooked up.
All right, Harry.
All right, thanks for calling in tonight, Tyler. Comes with. And I gotta go. Bye. No, come back. Oh, boy. There he goes, running away again as usual. Okay, well then, let's try this again, and this will be at my behest. Oh, bastards. I hate it when my own automation cuts me off. You'll see, automation. You'll all see. All right, looks like we got a winner, a Tyler. So Tyler wins pork rub. No, pork soak. So congratulations to Tyler. I'm sure you'll enjoy that from Darian at the Cosmos Q. By the way, wanted to thank my second segment guests, both Brian Mayer of Hot Sauce Weekly and JM from the Celebrity Grill Show. Also, last segment I had on Big Jim Stancil from Bare Knuckles Barbecue running for the BOD of Kansas City Barbecue Society. Good luck to him in his quest. We're going to step away briefly, and we will come back with Ray Lampe, Dr. Barbecue, right here on the Barbecue Central Radio Networks.